All right, so today we're diving into the Couch Potatoes podcast. And let me tell you, these guys are something else. They find humor in like the weirdest news stories.
It's really interesting how they use these stories to get you thinking about some pretty big ideas.
Yeah.
Things like what makes a good leader or how we handle people who are different from us.
Yeah, and even like why we love conspiracy theories so much.
Exactly.
So first up, we have a cat who was elected mayor in Maine.
A cat.
Yeah, you heard that right. His name is Mayor McFluffins. And get this, his campaign slogan was, "I'll knock over your problems like a glass of water." I mean,
Ah,
come on, that's pure genius.
it really makes you wonder, though, right? Like, if a cat can become mayor, what does that say about what we're looking for in our leaders? Is it all just a big joke?
Well, his opponent was a golden retriever who demanded a recount, but then got distracted by a squirrel.
Of course.
Can you imagine if human politicians were that easily swayed?
Maybe they are, just by different squirrels. Think about all the stuff that distracts us from the important things. All those shiny objects that grab our attention. Are we really all that different from that squirrel chasing dog?
Hmm, that's a good point. Okay, moving on to the Dear Spud-ly Advice segment in this one. A listener writes in asking for advice on how to deal with a roommate who thinks he's a vampire.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? How do you even respond to that?
Well, the Couch Potatoes came up with this hilarious mix of practical and just plain ridiculous advice.
Like what?
Well, they suggest giving the roommate a world's best roommate mug filled with garlic.
Just in case.
Right. Or hanging up a mirror to see if he casts the reflection.
I love it, but they also give some genuinely helpful suggestions too,
Oh, yeah, like what?
like investing in blackout curtains or
Oh,
even charging rent in blood bags.
blood bags. That's a new one.
I know, right? Maybe a bit extreme, but hey, desperate times call for desperate measures.
I guess so, but maybe starting with a conversation about boundaries would be a better first step.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all fun and games on the surface, but there's a deeper message here about learning to live with people who are different from us.
For sure, whether they're vampires or just a little quirky.
Exactly.
It's all about finding a way to coexist peacefully.
And maybe with a little bit of humor along the way.
Always helps.
Oh, and they also suggest dueling the vampire roommate with pool noodles.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
It's so ridiculous, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Instead of getting all angry, why not just grab a pool noodle and have at it?
Yeah, it's a much more fun way to handle things.
For sure. Okay, so now the Couch Potatoes are tackling a mystery that has plagued humanity since, like, forever, the case of the missing socks.
Oh, boy.
I know, right? Where do those socks even go? It's like they vanish into thin air.
Well, the Couch Potatoes have a few theories, and they're pretty out there.
Do tell.
Well, they suggest things like interdimensional wormholes or a sock rebellion leading to a sock puppet theater in Leeds Up. Belize, they even think dryers could be government portals that transform socks into tax documents.
A sock puppet theater in Belize. That's hilarious.
Well, I know, right? It's like they took all of our frustration with missing socks and turned it into this crazy story.
It's so true. We've all been there staring into the dryer. Like, where did that sock go?
It's a universal experience, the mystery of the missing sock.
And, of course, they couldn't resist bringing up the classic theory, the one we all secretly believe might be true dryer gnomes.
Ah, yes, the dryer gnomes, those mischievous little creatures stealing our socks.
It's such a fun way to explain the unexplainable. You
Yeah.
know, like, we don't really know where the socks go, but hey, maybe it's the gnomes.
And what I love is that they actually ask their listeners to share their own theories.
Yeah, it's like they're creating this community around this shared experience of laundry-related confusion.
It's a great example of how humor can connect people even over something as mundane as missing socks.
Absolutely. It's like they're saying, hey, life is weird. Let's just laugh about it.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, look, we don't have all the answers, but at least we can have a good laugh about it.
Right, and sometimes that's all you need. Totally. So what about you? What was your biggest takeaway from this episode?
Well, for me, it was just how good they are at finding the funny side of like everyday stuff. They take these normal things like a cat mayor or a vampire roommate or even just losing socks, and they turn them into these hilarious and kind of thought-provoking stories.
Yeah, they really make you think about things in a different way.
Exactly. It's a good reminder that we don't have to take life so seriously all the time.
Yeah, definitely. There's always room for a little laughter.
Absolutely. And for me, it's also about the power of humor. It can bring people together, help us deal with tough situations, and even see the world from a new perspective.
So true. Like, who would have thought a cat could be mayor? It's pretty wild.
And maybe that's a good thing.
Right.
Maybe we should all embrace that couch potato spirit a little bit. Find the funny side of things no matter how weird they get.
I love that. And hey, maybe we'll finally solve the mystery of those missing socks.
What's your theory of interdimensional wormholes? A sock rebellion, or maybe those government portals?
Hmm. Tough to say, but I'm definitely leaning towards the dryer gnomes.
The dryer gnome is always a classic. Well, folks, we'll leave you to ponder that great sock conspiracy.
Be sure to subscribe and share your own theories. We'd love to hear them.
And until next time, keep laughing and stay curious.